Hello Patreon friends. Today I'm using my webcam, so we'll see how this goes, but I felt like maybe it'd be a bit easier and quicker as far as uploading things. So, for the mandala reading of this month, I chose to do video. I'm just liking the video process better. Let me know what you think and feel about that, if you have a preference, but yeah, just easier for me. I do like to do my written out readings when I do, but generally I've been liking videos, so we'll see how this goes. I also have some cards here. I'll be doing a reading as well once we get towards the end of our mandala assessment. So I'm feeling the energy for this month is very balanced. So I'm not really going to go too much into the chakras and this is doing this is doing that. I'm basically going to kind of just channel some information and let you guys know what's been coming to mind. And sorry if I'm all over the place, I just realized my computer is going down in percentage, so let me plug in and get myself set here. So first of all, the energy of this month, if you haven't looked at the mandala already, it is a very vibrant one for this month. Basically rainbow colored. Each chakra is presenting here. Each one pretty equally and pretty evenly. I would maybe say there's an extra emphasis on self-love, even though that's not necessarily a chakra itself. It is still a important point. So there's an emphasis on self-love and an emphasis on the heart chakra, I would say, as well as possibly the third eye, so the intuition and following that. As far as any beings and things to work with for this next month of November, and I would even say throughout the end of the year, I see and feel some kind of fae spirits and energies happening. So if you guys aren't familiar, that would be fairies, gnomes, maybe leprechauns, unicorns. I consider part of the fae, and other things of that nature and that sort. I'm sure there are other beings that, you know, we don't even know of that are part of that little collective. So, if you're wanting to be a bit more whimsical, and I encourage you to do so, and to step out of your comfort zone and out of your, maybe way of thinking, to know and realize that there is a other realm of beings out there that isn't aliens or angels or what you normally think of, mythological creatures, can be very, very real. So allowing yourself to connect with them and connect with your inner child and give your inner child even some validation for some of the things you might have seen or experienced when you were younger. A lot of times when people have imaginary friends, those can surface as imaginary friends and be noticed as such, but they can actually be elementals and fae beings and spirits. So, you know, you might have a imaginary friend, but they're actually a fairy. You know, people can't necessarily see that because adults aren't as receptive to those sorts of beings as children might be, because they are open, they're receptive, they're willing to be. They don't have any boundaries up, they don't have any walls up, because, you know, they weren't taught to have those. I know for me specifically, I started mostly with like spirits and ghosts and things of that nature. Always knew they were real, always knew they existed, always knew they were in the presence of me some way, somehow, you know, in some area. And I would talk to adults that believed in them and, you know, would feel validated, and then I would go on to talk to adults that didn't believe, and then started to continuously invalidate myself. Even though not necessarily, but there was a part of, you know, that awareness that was broken down because I was questioning myself, because others questioned me because they weren't open, but, you know, I wasn't blind to what was going on at all. So allow yourself to have that childlike, those innocent eyes that really allow you to see things at face value and take it all in and appreciate it for what it is, and to be open to the unknown and the things that are kind of weird and strange and sound like they're unreal or not able to exist. So be open to that this month. Sorry if I'm sniffing a lot. Sorry. It's just like the weather is changing, and so my body is adjusting, like, what is going on? We're used to warmer weather. That is what our ancestors liked. So, yes, paying attention to elementals. I feel specifically working with fairies and unicorn energy this month. So if you don't work with the fairies and the unicorns, maybe working with their energy. So if you are more comfortable with working with the idea of their energy, maybe what traits do they possess? What would they work best with? How could they help you in your manifestations or your goals? And a good way of working with them is with manifesting money, I feel, or just like abundance, or even a abundance of small little things. They could also assist you with your plants if you have a lot of plants, some plants that are dying. Fairies tend to be around very often if there are a lot of plants, and if they're dying, they're not as likely to be around, but they could assist you in reviving those plants. So you could, kind of employ them as your little plant army to help your plants survive and thrive. So there are many different things that they could help you with, mostly earth type things. So like I said, things having to do with abundance in small things, maybe even fun, parties, new ideas, creativity, all of those sorts of things kind of come from the fairy realm. As far as unicorns go, they help a lot with our sense of freedom, our sense of identity and authenticity, and allowing ourselves to be open to that, whatever that might be for you, specifically whatever makes you feel authentic, as well as your sexuality. Knowing that we're coming into a day and age where relationships and sexualities are being questioned because a lot of maybe our human nature in ways, depending on what you believe, has been kind of suppressed and hindered in ways. So a lot of things are coming to the surface. A lot of people are allowing themselves to express in their unique way. So finding out what that means for you. There's no right, there's no wrong. All things just are, and all things exist. So whether that for you, whatever the case may be as far as relationships or sexuality or any of that, whatever that is for you, whatever you discover and explore, it is for you, and don't doubt it. So it is valid, it exists, and you are worthy and capable. So exploring all of those things, unicorns allow us to know that we are unique, and we can be a little bit weird, and we have different preferences, and unique preferences at that. People are so different across the board. There's no way all of us could follow a standard to be considered normal, even though we've done so well up until this point. But literally, as you can see, a lot of it's falling apart as people are like, well, I'm not like this, well, I'm not like that, well, I'm not like this, but I feel like this and I feel like that, and I know you think that's weird, but this is how I feel, and maybe that's because of this, and this that happened in my childhood, whatever. That's their issue. It's more so the fact of allowing yourself to be authentic in whatever way you feel that is, and if that changes, that's still authenticity, because we are ever-changing beings. So allowing ourselves to have that mentality of the unicorn, as well as be able to be fun and playful like the fairies, and allow ourselves to validate our inner child who believed in those beings and maybe even communicated and played with them, so that we can have more of a deeper relationship and understanding with ourselves, because we understand, the relationship to the things that we had relationships with as we were children. So taking that into consideration this month, and allowing yourself to just continue working with your chakra energy. So, and since everything is super balanced, I'd say, which is kind of incredible, and something that I just really strongly felt, I was like, honestly, I feel every color of the rainbow. I feel fairies, I feel whimsy, I feel, unicorns and possibly dragons. I feel like it's going to be a fun month that's going to get us in touch with our inner child and allow ourselves to be excited and free and open to new experiences, and to breathe and to be creative, and so allow yourself to experience it all. You are balanced enough to do so. So let's see what our crown chakra has for us. We've got inner witness, so maybe just paying attention to that inner voice. Sorry if this shows up in the reverse, or, the font looks, like a mirror, whatever. I'm showing you that one image and it looks differently, so we'll see once I upload this. But inner witness, number 33 if you like numerology. This is self-study, clarity, and spaciousness, and this is a solid mudra to use if you are wanting and willing to do this work. Our third eye chakra is asking us to work with our sacral chakra, which would make sense because they do work together. And I think it's asking you to do so because it wants you to have that sense of creativity and to maybe do some things with pleasure, creativity and pleasure, and see what that might change in the way of your intuition as far as increasing it, and even using your creativity to help you manifest, whether that be drawing, painting, singing, dancing. Be creative, do something different than you normally do, the regular write out the list and all the other stuff, like boring. Let's do something different. Throat chakra, I'd say it's pretty balanced because throat chakra just decided to come up. So throat chakra, there's some purification happening here. Communication, discernment, expansion, and purification. Throat, heart chakra is asking us to listen to that intuition. So if you've been having some extra feelings about some things, listen to your heart. Your crown chakra is speaking to you. And allow yourself to have a lightness and a joy within you. Again, connecting to the inner child. We'll do solar plexus, which is fearlessness. So allowing ourselves to be courageous by grounding down and knowing that we are safe, that we can have the courage that it requires, and be steadfast and consistent. My courage and self-assurance are unwavering, so maybe amping up that solar plexus and supporting it a bit more by allowing ourselves to ground. Sacral. Breath. So doing some breath work might be good right now. Creating some boundaries and just creating some balance, but doing some breath work that is especially associated with your sacral chakra might be very beneficial. But just in general, breathing as we do things has a way of clearing out all of the stuff that needs to be cleared in the deepest, most profound way, and we don't even realize it because we take breathing for granted, and most of the time we aren't breathing properly. So let's be extra cautious of how we breathe this month. And for our root chakra, we've got our heart chakra. So having love, compassion, empathy, and forgiveness as we allow ourselves to stay grounded, and commitment, which is interesting because this is a solar plexus card, which root chakra came up with the solar plexus. So allowing ourselves to be grounded enough to know that what we want, we can commit to, and listening to the heart chakra in the process, using the heart chakra to guide us on our path, and listening to these two. They often, you get gut feelings from the solar plexus, but also your heart is a big intuition or intuitive guide as well. And linking the two will really allow you to commit courageously and confidently to the things that are asking you to commit at this time, whatever the case might be. And let's get one more card here because I have one more minute. It is Four of Diamonds. Let's not be stingy. Let's not protect ourselves and hide ourselves away from the world and only peek out every few moments. I feel like this is kind of like the guy in the Wizard of Oz, I guess the guy behind the curtain. He wanted to have this huge facade, this huge way about him, and have everyone thinking that he was this great, powerful Oz, but really he was just this small guy behind a curtain. It's that same sort of energy. It's like, are you going to allow yourself to be authentic? Are you going to allow yourself to be authentic and show and express authenticity, or are you going to hide behind the curtain, being super stingy and grasping onto everything that you can actually have in your possession, and being super scared to share anything with anyone else because you're not sure if it'll be taken away or taken care of? You have to just trust the process. So allow yourself to do that this month. I'll see you guys again soon.